Okie doke. All set. Go ahead.
Sorry, are we live?
Yes, we are. Can you not hear me? Hello? Maybe you can't hear me.
All right, are we live?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, fantastic. Okay, well, welcome back, everybody. I hope you're having a great time this beautiful summer evening. So, yesterday, or actually it was Tuesday, I was talking about how you have to fail in order to succeed. And I'm wanting to share, because I shared my story that happened recently and how I turned it around right away. So I failed and then I succeeded right away because I recognized that that's just part of success is failure. So I'm going to let you know Kevin had a similar situation, Kevin Trudeau. So Kevin, he was running a company with a few other guys, and they had a bunch of employees. Okay. Now, I guess they had miscommunicated or something had happened with the bank. And money that they thought they had in the bank wasn't there anymore, or it was about to leave or something. And the administrative assistant came up to Kevin and said, we're in trouble. We can't even make payroll. Like, literally now, we can't make payroll by the end of the week. And the first thing that he said as a reaction was, oh, good, let's celebrate. And of course, everybody looked at him like he was crazy, like he had three heads. And they said, well, why? Why would you say that? That's not a good reaction. And he said, I don't know, but this is a good thing. So just to show you that that is the training, is to always look at the positive. You are looking for gold, not the dirt. And as soon as he said that, of course, everybody looked at him like he was crazy. But when he said that, it automatically makes the brain look for the good. Like, well, what's good? Why are we celebrating? And what they found very shortly afterward was because she had found this error, they were able to stop payment on all of the checks that were going to go out, because that would have, ended up in being NSF, and you can actually get charged with larceny, I believe, if you write too many bad checks. So that actually allowed them to kind of let everybody know that payroll would not be met, and they could tell them in advance, a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance, that they would not be getting anything. And immediately, Kevin and all of his buddies that were running the show, they went into like panic mode. How are we going to make money? How are we going to make money? And they just started brainstorming, and they threw around ideas. And I remember I told you guys on Tuesday, so I'll say it again. The key is that when you get an idea, no matter how silly or stupid it might seem, you write it down as an idea. And then after you've brainstormed and found all of the possible ideas you can think of, that's when you go back and you look at the quality of your ideas. Some ideas are really not that good. So one idea that they had was robbing a bank. Well, that is a way to get money, but it's just not a very good, viable way. So they threw that out. But it was actually an idea that somebody said, so they put it in there. That, when you do that technique, it allows the flow of ideas to continue. But as soon as you judge an idea, it stops all conversation. I don't know if you've noticed that in conversations, especially nowadays, I find. There's just there's like a, somebody has an idea or somebody's speaking, and then all of a sudden somebody will be like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, or oh, you're crazy, or this or that, and they'll make a judgment call on that person's ideas. I want to challenge you not to do that. Even if you do it in your mind, try not to say it out loud in your outside voice. Because, first of all, that stifles any other speech after that. The conversation's over. As soon as you start saying that somebody is stupid or they're crazy, they don't want to say anything more because they don't want to get ridiculed by you anymore. But it also shuts everybody else up too, because now they're worried about getting judged. So when we're talking on like social media and stuff, it's very interesting to watch these interactions take place. When you treat people this way, do you think it is going to pay off in the long run? Is it going to benefit you financially to be mistreating people and calling them crazy?
Probably not.
Exactly. Probably not. And one of those people might have a really good idea that will later turn into amazing things. It could be as simple as, giving you inspiration to solve world hunger. It could be, that person could start a company with you, and both of you could be running that company together, helping people all over the world. Or it could just be some little thing. But either way, if somebody has an idea, it's always best to just, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all, right? And it's best to keep that creative juice flowing. And your brain is the same way. So if you come up with an idea, and then you immediately, like another part of you almost says, oh, that's stupid. Well, then the part of you that came up with that idea in the first place is going to want to shut down. So like I say, the technique is, if there's an idea, just write it down. Then you can make judgment calls after all the ideas are thrown out there, and all the creative juices will continue to flow if you just treat all ideas as equal. Okay, so he had all these ideas. And one of those ideas was public speaking to making money. So what they did, because they had done this in the past, so what they did is, okay, well, we'll just start speaking again. So they, called a few people, called a few venues, and booked some speaking engagements, and all of them went on tour. And they just went on separate tours, speaking. And first of all, they made tons of money doing this. But then after that, this speaking tour led to new selling partnerships, new improvements in their lives. They obviously made payroll. They made a lot of money to get them out of debt. Whatever actions got them in that position, that they got out of it within a matter of a couple months. And they actually made a few $100,000 that summer. So, I mean, it's not chump change here, okay? They were able to, like, literally get out of debt, make payroll, and they had a few $100,000 in the bank, in their pockets, just from a couple months of speaking, just going on a speaking tour. And that speaks to what I was talking about with my story on Tuesday. So I just wanted to let you know that it's not just me. This isn't just a fluke, okay? And if you use this technique, you're going to have the same situation happen, where you'll have lots of ideas of how you can make money really quickly. And then some of them will be better than others, and you can follow through, and you can just say, okay, well, this was no good. I tried this, but then they said no. I called these guys, but they said yes. Okay, so follow through on that. And you'll have this whole list of prospects. And, at the end of the day, it's going to get you through to pay the bills or to start that business that you've been wanting to start. And money isn't everything, but definitely when you are not able to pay your bills, or you're not able to help other people around you pay bills, like say your mother or your father, your neighbor has trouble, you want to be able to help them if you can. So certainly having a little bit of extra cash on hand is always good. So that's just a technique that you can use to help you out. Now, so we talked mostly about failure being necessary in order to succeed. Now I'm going to switch it up. We're going to get into a little bit of the higher level training from now on. I asked if I was able to do certain training, and I got a no. So a lot of you aren't ready for that, and that's okay. So we're just going to go slowly into the higher level training. But I do want to ask a question just before we start. Has anybody had a chance to go through the level 4 test?
I have not.
Okay, and that's perfectly acceptable because we actually just started level 3. So if you haven't done the level 4 test and we're only in level 3, that's totally fine. However, we're going to be doing questions. What did I say? We were doing questions 141 to 280. Okay, we will be doing those next time. So you get your downloads done, and we're going to be doing those questions. So the questions and the answers have been posted. When did I post that? I don't know. It was before July. I think it was the 26th of June, I think. Okay, so just go scroll up in Genie Training, and it should be there. All right, now July 5th, I'm going to draw your attention. I posted a whole bunch of audios from level 1 ongoing training. I think I'm almost done the level 1. Yes, I think I'm almost done posting level 1 training. So I'm going to have to post some more tomorrow. Yeah, sorry about the dead air. Okay, so there is it looks like 2 posting sessions. So I posted quite a few on the 5th. All right, so now I'm going to bring your attention to today's postings. All right, so I finally found the correct Patreon. So I'll talk about that just briefly. So Patreon is a way that if you are a creator of content, if you're a writer or you have a YouTube channel or something, it's a way for you to make money by donation. So if you find that this is a benefit to you, okay, please consider donating. It is at patreon.com/redneck hippie, spelled with IE. So that's patreon.com/red hippie. And Patreon is spelled Patreon. Okay, patreon.com/red hippie. So I created some tiers. If you donate $1 a month, then you are considered a unicorn. And there's certain benefits to that. And if you donate, I think you can donate $5 a month, $10 a month, or $100 a month. And if you want to donate $50 a month, then just let me know and I can create a tier for that. But at at $10 a month, you can get every month an Akashic card that has vibrations from the Akashic records, and I'll send that to you once a month. It's a different card every time, and you'll get that in the mail shortly after. Okay. All right. So now I posted on July 12th. That'll be today. I posted today at 3:55 p.m. Mountain Time. So just scroll up there. And it's about shooting with your eyes closed. Okay, so shooting with your eyes closed is an interesting concept. And it's a concept in archery, but I guess you could probably do it with anything, like with shooting a pellet gun or an actual rifle. I don't recommend that, by the way. I'm not advising you to do this, but I'm just talking about a concept, shooting arrows with your eyes closed, and don't go shooting guns with your eyes closed. I am not advising that, but this is what the concept is. You tend to, when you're aiming with a bow, for example, you tend to tense up, and you get anxiety and stress when you're trying to hit a target. So people will look at a target and they'll tense up, and their release is all wrong because they're tensed up, if that makes any sense. So the idea is that you have to, first of all, you have to know the basics before you do this. But assuming somebody knows the basics of bow hunting and basics of archery, okay, they will benefit from this. So they'll just shoot into a hay bale. I think it's called blind bale shooting, actually. That's the technique. And you will close your eyes and shoot the hay bale. So there's no actual target. And the whole point is that you are so focused on your body and how your stance is. You're focused on your muscles. You're focused on the bow in hand. But you are not tensed up because you're looking at a target and trying to hit the target. Instead, you're just focusing on your technique, particularly the release. And it allows you to relax and just really understand the proper release and understand how to just relax and calm your muscles. And also, there's this feel to it. There's something called in the zone. There's a concept called in the zone. I think we're all familiar with that. So this is getting you in the zone, okay, so that you form good habits. And some archers, they will spend literally all season blind shooting. And then when it comes time to do their fall hunting, then they'll, like for a couple days before, then they'll get the target. And then they will open their eyes and aim at the target. But until then, they will just blind shoot. So what that does is it gives you unconscious competence on how to do that follow through, how to hold your body, and you get this kind of this instinct of how to properly hold that bow, so that when you do have a target and you do have your eyes open, you are doing everything else properly. So now you just have to worry about aim, which that's easy to correct. Once you have the proper technique for, for pulling the bow and the release, then all you have to do is work on your aim, and that's pretty simple. So I hope that makes sense. Now, there are actually a lot of other people, like experts, even monks and things. Monks are known for the bow and arrow and archery. And they will do all kinds of cool tricks. Like these Zen monks, they will do interesting stuff. And when you look at some of them make these almost impossible shots, like somebody will throw a coin in the air and they'll shoot the coin in half, or they'll shoot right through the coin, with a gun or something. When you watch it in slow-mo and you watch the person, they actually have their eyes closed as they shoot the coin, and it will shoot a hole right through the coin. So to me, that's very interesting. How can you have your eyes closed while you're shooting a gun? Somebody throws up a coin and you shoot your gun so that it hits the coin, but you have your eyes closed. How does that work? So it's something to think about. What exactly is that person doing? And how are they aiming so well without their eyes? So this is something that we need to look at from a success in business standpoint. Because, I mean, we're talking about archery, okay? But success at archery is really cool, but we want to have success in life, not archery. So just think about that for a second and think about energy. So if you scroll down, there's also a video. It's talking about recurve archery. And again, this guy's talking about shooting with your eyes closed, and he gives another technique to that. Now, here, the next guy from Merlin Archery, here's a video. He talks about instinctive archery, and he's talking about visualization. So he actually shows you real examples of people who visualize, and like you can watch them, you can watch their head. Their head kind of goes in the direction they want the arrow to go, and you'll see them then shoot the arrow, and it'll go the way that their head went. So when you watch this video, it's kind of interesting because he talks about how you visualize where that arrow is going to go before you shoot. And that's certainly not all that you do in archery, but he says it plays a big role in hitting the target. So another thing to think about is that's kind of what we're talking about all the time on this program, is visualizing visualizing what you want to occur. So you're making your mind movie and you're visualizing what is going to occur. So this guy's talking about visualization in a sense of not woo-woo. This is not hocus pocus, but he's speaking of it in a sense of this really does work, and here's a picture of it. And then you watch, and there's a video of a guy doing it, okay? This stuff that we're teaching is not ridiculous pie-in-the-sky stuff. It really works. So I want to kind of get past the idea that, woo-woo is just not true. Quite the opposite. Woo-woo is going to, well, some woo-woo is going to actually work in your real life and make a difference. Okay, so like I said, we're going to talk about energy as well. What are you doing when you're tapping into this je ne sais quoi of, I'm going to shoot a gun at a coin and it's going to go right through the coin. That bullet is going to make a hole through that coin, but I'm going to have my eyes closed. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about energy for one. So I want you to think about a fish swimming around, and you don't know where the fish is going to go. I mean, a fish is going to swim. So how do you know where it's going to be a moment from where you are? How are you going to predict? How are you going to anticipate where that fish will be in 2 moments? And I think you can appreciate an eagle and how an eagle hunts, because the eagle is very high up and looking down. And just the fact that they can see a fish from that far away is mind-blowing. They have just amazing eyes that they can even see that. But then from the moment the eagle is up in the air, up high, and then swoops down and grabs that fish has swam probably quite a distance. So how does the eagle know? Really, how does the eagle know where to go? And so I posted a video here that shows an eagle swooping down into a little pond where there's a fish to feed the little birdies, to feed the baby eagles. And it's quite interesting because it does the a slow-mo. And you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can just watch at 2 minutes 9 seconds to 2 minutes 57 seconds, and that'll just show you everything that you need to see there. Okay, so then the next one that I posted is anticipating a fish's movement. Now this is a human hunting fish, and it's spearfishing. Okay, so he's diving, and while he's underwater, he's explaining how he anticipates the movement of a fish. And he talks about how some species of fish, they tend towards certain movements, and certain other species of fish don't. And then he says, there's a little bit of luck to it, and then there's a little bit of just knowing your species of fish. And then there's also a way of strategically planning based on what you know. So your knowledge is only going to do so much. Then your action is going to do the rest. Okay? So one thing that Kevin teaches is that when you have amazing knowledge of how to do something and an amazing attitude with which to do it, and then you implement amazing action, you will have amazing results. So I'll say that again. You have an amazing attitude and knowledge, but as soon as you implement action, amazing action into that, you will have amazing results. And it will go up in the form of a parabola. Like your success will go up in the form of a parabola. So it'll be to the exponent, not, just times 2. It won't be times 2. It'll be like times 10, times 20. Okay? This is really effective stuff, you guys. So when you know how a fish moves in general, you can then plan that, okay, well, if I touch the bottom of the lake right here, that'll send the fish going to the left. And then what I'll do is I'm going to have my spear ready over here to get him when he goes to the left. So planning that way based on your knowledge is going to give you the result. And he kind of explains that better than I can because he's a fisherman, he knows. But you're going to be doing this in business. You're going to be doing this at home with your family, with your relationships. You're going to be doing this with your hobbies, with any accomplishments you want to make. You're going to be doing this with your education. Maybe you want to get that degree. That is going to be how you succeed, is anticipating through this je ne sais quoi, through this woo of the universe, how something is going to behave. So how are the markets going to behave? Should I invest in this stock or should I hold off? There is a kind of just a knowledge that you will have that will not be, it won't be tangible. It won't be something that you can say to someone, I believe XYZ because, and then you have this whole list of evidence of why you believe that. It won't be like that. It'll be like, I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is the right way to go because I think that this stock is going to perform really well. And I'm going to put, maybe not all in, but I'm going to put a few $1,000s into this today. And then sure enough, tomorrow you watch and it went up like a major amount and you just made like 42 grand in one day because the stocks went up and you just had this feeling. There's certain times when you will just have this feeling. And I want you to understand that that is how energy works in the real world. So when you look at a shark, for example, just think about a shark. A shark will be able to smell blood in the water or to sense blood in the water. I don't know if they smell. However, they sense it from miles away. How do they even do that? I mean, a drop of blood? Like think about it, a drop of blood and they know miles away. How? I mean, it's just a drop. Like how there wouldn't even be any molecules, there wouldn't be any cells that far away. So how do they know? I mean, just think about that. How do if you look at the male and the female of the species, how do they know who to mate with? There's a certain instinct that the different sexes will have. And I mean, you could say, well, it's pheromones. Okay, well, pheromones definitely play a part in it. But they're not all there is to it. There's some kind of an unexplainable reality to it. Like you can't even vocalize it of what that is, but there's an energy there. What is it that allows a salmon to travel upstream hundreds of miles to the place of their birth? I mean, how do they even know, right? And there's a certain instinct. You could say, oh, it's instinct. Okay, but what is instinct? Like, think about what exactly is instinct, and please explain it scientifically to me. I mean, can you? Do you even know? Like, how do you even explain something like that? How do you explain imprinting? When a baby is born and then like a little baby chick or something, or a baby kitten, and you're the first thing the kitten sees, that kitten will probably imprint on you and think that you are his or her mother. And then you'll have this imprinted little kitten following you around all the time. How does that work? And how do they know to follow you around? I mean, because that person would presumably be the mother, usually. So how do they know to do that by instinct? And how do you articulate that scientifically? Also, like we were talking about the eagle just knows by instinct where the fish will be a few moments from now, because that's how long it's going to take them to swoop down to grab that fish. But it's very interesting to watch in action this happening. And the same thing can be said about any kind of a predatory species. You watch like a tiger attacking, I don't know. I don't even know what tigers eat. Gazelles, I guess. A gazelle or some kind of a ruminant animal, I guess. That is an amazing feat to watch, because they have to anticipate this very quick moving animal and how that animal is going to react and go the correct way in order to hunt. And sometimes they don't get it right. I mean, I'm not saying it works every time, but certainly hunters are very good at anticipating how the prey are going to move. And how do they know? So I want you to think about it in terms of you are the predator and your goals, your dreams are the prey, and you're going after them. The prey doesn't always come to you. In fact, usually it doesn't come to you. Money is just not going to come at your feet. Like, people aren't going to walk up to your house and lay it down at the door and then ring the doorbell and be like, yeah, I just brought you a bag of money. There you go. It just doesn't work like that, okay? You're going to have to go out and get it. Just like an animal hunting for a meal, you're going to have to go out and get your dreams, make sure your goals come to you. So how are you going to do that? And there's a little bit of anticipation there that is unexplained. You just won't be able to explain it to people. If somebody asked you to articulate it, you wouldn't be able to. You just say, I don't know. I just have this feeling. I have this gut instinct. I have an intuition. Some women say, I have intuition. Guys usually like to say, I just feel it in my gut that I know this is the right way to go. That's why being healthy and knowing your true feelings about things is very important. So understand that you must know what your body is feeling at all times. And I hope you remember a few lessons back, we talked about self-awareness and just being aware in present time where you are. Like, I'm walking into a restaurant. Where am I? Oh, I'm at such and such a restaurant in such and such a part of town. And, okay, where's the bathroom? Oh, well, the restroom's over there. Okay, well, where's the bar? The bar's over there. Okay. What kind of chairs are there in the restaurant? What kind of bar stools are there in the restaurant? Are there booths? Is it all tables, or is there like booths on the side, on the walls, and then the tables are on the inside? How does it work? Where's the kitchen? You know, where's all the other things that you need to know? It's kind of important. Being present is important. Understanding what the reality is important. Because if you don't know where you are, how do you know where you're going and how to get there? You have to know where you are. Like, you ever been to a mall or an amusement park or something, and there's a map and it says you are here, and there's like this big red dot, you know, you are here. Well, why do they do that? Well, because if you don't know where you are, how are you going to follow the map? How are you going to get to where you want to go? So you have to know where you are. And in the beginning of this lesson, I was talking about bow hunting and how the bow hunter will close his eyes. And that's a way of allowing him to sense what his body is doing. It allows you to relax your muscles and not tense up. And then it allows you to form good habits for your release. For your pullback too, but for your release mostly. So that when it comes time to aim, all you have to focus on is aiming instead of, oh, well, I have to focus on how I hold my shoulders. Okay, my stance. Okay, I have to. No, you don't have to do that because you're already practiced in your stance and you're already practiced in how you hold your shoulders. So it's important to know your own body. How is your body today? How does your body feel? Do you feel good now? I mean, look at the way I was a few days ago, right? I was like, do I feel good now? No. Is it a feeling or is it a thought? Okay, well, it's near my belly button and about 3 inches above my belly button, in that range. It's definitely a feeling. Okay. If it's above your neck, it's probably a thought. But if it's your chest or below, it's probably a feeling. So I felt really bad and I knew it was a feeling. So then what do? If you feel bad, you try to feel a little bit better. But if you're not aware of yourself and your body, you won't know this. You might feel bad, but you won't consciously know you feel bad, if that makes sense. You'll feel bad for a long time before you realize that you really feel bad. Now, by the way, what happens if you don't know? Like, if you don't realize that you're feeling bad, what would happen? Well, the universe will then get louder. It's kind of like, a baby. At first, the baby might just, kind of bug you a little bit because the baby wants something, food. Maybe the diaper's dirty, so the baby wants to be changed. Maybe the baby just wants attention, right? So the baby might just grab your arm or something, maybe coo a little bit, chat a little bit with you. And then if you ignore that baby, it's going to start crying louder and louder, and then it's screaming, and then it's screeching. So that is what the universe will do. Okay. So if you just get a subtle hint of, gee, I'm not feeling good. Why am I not feeling good? What's going on? If you deal with it right then and there, then you'll deal with it and it's good. But if you're not dealing with it, it's going to get worse and worse and worse, right? It's just like, if you're sick or if you have an injury, at first, it's probably just a slight pain, but then it'll get worse and worse and worse until you go, I can't go on. I have to go see a doctor. Like, I got to stop everything now and go get this checked out. But if it's just a little bit of pain, what do most people do? Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I'll just tough it out. And then of course, if it's something that's serious, then it gets worse and worse and worse. So that is what's going to happen to you. So there's no worries, okay? If you don't recognize right away that you're feeling bad, like you're physically feeling bad, you will know eventually. But wouldn't it be nice to figure it out as soon as it starts happening? Of course, yeah, of course. And you're going to turn it around and get it back on track the sooner you know. Have you ever gone the wrong way when you're driving, like on a road trip, and you just go the wrong way? Like sometimes I'll stop at a gas station or something on my trip, and then when I exit the gas station, I go the way that I came, you know? So I'm going back home or back to where I came from, right? And then I have to stop and I go, you know, I've already been here today. I got to turn around because this is the direction I was going before. So you have to actually turn around to go where you're going. Okay. Sometimes that's exactly what it takes is you got to go in the wrong direction for a little ways until you kind of figure it out that you're going the wrong way, and then you can turn around. But wouldn't it be nicer to turn around, you know, within the first mile instead of 20 miles down the road or worse? Some people go a long ways until they realize they're going the wrong way. Yeah, it's way better to figure out earlier that you're going the wrong way so that you can turn around. And that's only done if you focus on how your body feels. How am I feeling? How do I feel today? Do I feel good now? And then if you don't feel good now, why? Why don't you feel good now? What's going on? And then focusing on that. Okay, so that is the lesson for today. Do we have any comments, observations, or concerns?
Nope.
Okay, great. So next time, if that's all right with you, we're going to be doing the test questions for level 2.